everybody, so today we are going to be focusing on lesson 3.9 in our Go Math materials. So you are going to need page 201 through 206. Okay, 201 through 206. You're also going to need a pencil along with, if you'd like, your whiteboard. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Your whiteboard. One thing I do want to talk about before we do this lesson is that I have some students that are struggling to keep up. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is we need to make sure we are working on these lessons as they are put up each day. Okay, the other thing is you can pause and go back and watch these videos as many times as you need to understand the concepts. You can also come to my office hours at any point from 12 to 1 o'clock every day and get help if you need help. So if there's something that you're not understanding, come to office hours, ask those questions, okay? All right, so we're going to be at the top of page 201 where it says unlock the problem. Hannah has 3.36 kilograms of apples and 2.28 kilograms of oranges. Hannah estimates she has about 1 more kilogram of apples than oranges. How many more kilograms of apples than oranges does Hannah have? How can you use this estimate to decide if your answer is reasonable? Okay, so it's telling us here that we are going to subtract 3.36, which is the number of kilograms of apples that she has, and we're going to subtract 2.28 kilograms of oranges, okay? So it says subtract the hundreds first. If there are not enough hundreds, regroup 1/10 says tenth hundreds. Okay, so that's walking you through the subtraction problem. They've also rewritten it over here for you, but I'm actually going to rewrite it because I want it to look a little bit bigger. One thing we have to focus on when we do these subtraction problems, especially with decimals, is we want to make sure we line up our decimal points. We also want to make sure that we put our larger number on top. Okay, so 3.36 is definitely larger than 2.28. Now, if you're unsure of which one's larger, think of it in terms of money, okay? So would you rather have $3.36 or $2.28? Well, I'd rather have $3.36 because that's more money, right? So again, think of it in terms of money if you're unsure. Line up those decimal points. Put that larger number on top, okay? And from here, we're just going to go ahead and subtract. So we have 6 take away 8. Well, 6 is smaller than 8. If I have $6, okay, I'm going to take it back to money. If I have $6 and I owe somebody $8, I don't have enough money, right, to pay them. So I have to borrow from my tenths place. So my 3 is going to become 2, and the 6 is going to become 16. Okay, I like to cross them out and write the number that I want up above, only because that keeps my work nice and situated, okay? So we have 16 take away 8, which now we can do. 16 take away 8 is 8. Let's go to the next part. 2 take away 2. Well, 2 take away 2 is just 0. And 3 take away 2 is 1. Bring that decimal point straight down. So the difference, if we go down just a little bit here, they've actually, because they want you to draw a quick picture and all that. So it says, so Hannah has 1.08 more kilograms of apples than oranges, okay? Since 1.08 is close to 1, the answer is reasonable, okay? Because she said that she thought she had about 1 kilogram more. Okay, so subtraction is a lot like adding. When we were adding decimals, I told you, put the bigger one on top because it's going to set you up for success when we do these subtraction problems. Okay, we're going to just go right along to, let's do, I like this one because it has 2 steps and it shows you a way to check. So on page 202, page 202 at the top where it says try this, use addition to check. So there's one extra component here that's going to show us a way to check our answer, okay? So it says, since subtraction and addition are inverse operations, Inverse is just a fancy word for opposite. You can check subtraction by adding. Sorry, we'll wait for that announcement. I don't know if you guys can even hear it, but there's an announcement. Okay, here we go. Step 1, find the difference. I want you to underline that word difference, okay? Difference is the key word. That tells me that I am subtracting, okay? Then it gives you the steps for doing that. We're going to go ahead and just look at it down here in this box, okay? So we have 14.2 take away 8.63. We put our larger number on top and our smaller number on the bottom, and they've lined up that decimal point for us to make our life much easier, okay? I'm going to zoom in here, okay? One thing I'm going to point out in this problem is we have 14.2 and 8.63. We're going to add a 0 here next to the 2 above the 3 as a placeholder, okay? If there's nothing there, that's just 0, okay? All right, let's look at it. So we're going to go ahead and work through this problem. 0 take away 3. Well, if I have $0 and I owe somebody $3, I don't have enough, so I have to borrow. Okay, so I borrow from my 2. That becomes 1. 0 becomes 10. 10 take away 3 is 7. Now, 1 cannot take away 6, right? So we have to borrow from the 4. The 4 becomes 3. The 1 becomes 11. And 11 take away 6 is 5. Okay, 3 cannot take away 8. So we borrow from the 1. The 1 becomes 0. The 3 becomes 13. 13 take away 8 is 5. We bring that decimal point straight down. Do not worry about the decimal point till the very end. Okay, so 5.57. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our number that we got here, so that's 5.57, and we're going to add it to the smaller number that we subtracted. Okay, so we're going to take 5.57 and add it to 8.63 over here in step number 2. Okay, 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry the 1. 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 1 more is 12. Carry the 1. 5 plus 8 is 13, plus 1 more is 14. Bring our decimal point straight down. 14.20, 14.20. Even though I crossed out the numbers as we regrouped. So we know our answer is correct, okay? So we're going to go down here to the share and show part on page 202. We're still on that same page, 202. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to estimate first. It's asking us to estimate, then to find the distance, or the difference, not distance, difference, sorry. So we're going to estimate first, then we're going to find the difference, and we're going to see with our estimation if that's close once we do the actual math, okay? So let's look at number 1. We're going to estimate by rounding our numbers to the nearest whole number. So we look at our 5, that's our whole number. We look to the right, which is an 8. Because the 8 is larger than 5, the 5 increases by 1 to 6. Okay, so that 5.83 is really like a 6. Okay, same here. We have 2.18. Okay, because we have 2, we look, that's our whole number, we look to the right at the 1. The 1 is less than 5, so the 2 stays the same. So we're going to just keep it at 2. Well, now we can take 6 and subtract 2 in our head, and we get 4. So our estimate is 4. Then we're going to go ahead and do the actual math here, okay? So we have 3 take away 8. Well, 3 can't take away 8, so we have to borrow from this 8 over here. That becomes 7. This becomes 13. 13 take away 8 is 5. And 7 take away 1 is 6. 5 take away 2 is 3. Bring that decimal point straight down. 3.65 is close to 4, so our estimate was pretty close. Okay? We're going to do one more of the estimation. I want to do 3 though. We look at our whole number because we're going to round these to the nearest whole number to get a good estimation. Okay? The reason why we round to the nearest whole number is because it gives us a good problem that we can do mentally in our head. So we have 4.03. We look at the 4, which is the whole number. Look to the right, which is 0. Because it's 0, the 4 stays the same. It's less than 5. So we're going to keep that at 4. Now we're going to look at our whole number here. We have 2. We look to the right. The next number is 2. Because it's less than 5, the 2 stays the same. Well, we can easily do 4 subtract 2 in our head, which is 2. So our estimate is 2. Now we're going to do the actual subtraction problem. 3 cannot take away 5. But we can't borrow from 0, can we? So we have to go way over here to the 4. So we borrow from the 4, and that becomes 3. The 0 becomes 10. And then it becomes 9 because we're borrowing for this number. So 13 take away 5 is 8. 9 take away 2 is 7. And 3 take away 2 is 1. Bring down that decimal point. 1.78 is pretty close to 2, so our estimation was pretty close. Okay, I like these problems down here, 4 through 6, because it says to find the difference, then check your answer. And the way that we check our answer is using addition, right? Because that's the inverse or the opposite operation of subtraction. Okay? So let's take a look at this. Find the difference, check your answer. It does not ask us to estimate here, so we don't need to worry about the estimation part. Okay, we're going to look at 4 first. 0 cannot take away 3, so we have to borrow from 7. 7 becomes 6, 0 becomes 10. 10 take away 3 is 7, and 6 take away 4 is 2. 0 take away 0 is just 0. Bring down that decimal point. So we have 0.27 is our answer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that smaller number, so the 0.43, and we're going to add 0.27 to that off to the side over here, and we should get 0.70. So let's do that. 0.43 add 0.27. 7 plus 3 is 0. Carry the 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. Plus 1 more is 7. 0 plus 0 is 0. Bring down the decimal point. We get 0.70. So we know our answer is correct. All right, let's look at number 6. Okay, I like number 6 because it's a little bit different. It's actually similar to 5, but we'll do number 6. So we have 15.8 take away 9.67. Well, first thing I look at is I see there's a placeholder, and I'm going to replace that with a 0. Okay? So let's do the subtraction first. 0 cannot take away 7, so we borrow from the 8, and that becomes 7. The 0 becomes 10. 10 take away 7 is 3. 7 take away 6 is 1. 5 cannot take away 9, so we borrow. This becomes 0. This becomes 15. 15 take away 9 is 6. And 0 take away 0 is just 0. Bring that decimal point straight down. 6.13. Now to do the second part where it says to check your answer, you're going to take that smaller number, 9.67, from the original problem, and you're going to add it to the answer that you got. So over here, we're going to take 9.67 and add 6.13. Okay, we should get 15.8 when we do the math. Okay, 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry the 1, 6, 7, 8. And 9 plus 6 is 15. Bring the decimal point straight down. 15.8, so we know our subtraction is correct. Okay. I want to take a look at no, I don't. I want to look at this on your own portion really quick because there are some words that say connect symbols and words, find the difference. So we're going to look at these and we're going to write subtraction problems, okay? And it's asking us to find the difference. So we're going to write out the subtraction problem. We're going to set it up and solve it, okay? So I want to look at 7 first. So first thing I do is I always read it. 3 and 72 hundredths subtracted from 5 and 81 hundredths. Okay, so let's start by writing out that first number. 3 and 72 hundredths. The 2 is in the hundredths position, so we know that's correct. Subtracted from 5 and 81 hundredths. The 1 is in the hundredths position, so we know we're correct. We have a subtraction problem. We're going to put our larger number on top, 5.81, subtract 3.72, and we do the math. Okay? 1 cannot take away 2, so we borrow from the 8, and that becomes 7. The 1 becomes 11. 11 take away 2 is 9. 7 take away 7 is 0. 5 take away 3 is 2. Bring down the decimal point, 2.09. 2.09. Down here on numbers, let's say 12 through 17, they give you problems, but they write them differently. So just remember to stack them and put that larger number on top. So if I'm looking at 15, I have 15.83 take away 11.45. I'm going to stack it like this. Take away 11.45. Then do my problem, right? To make my life easier, stack them. Okay, so we did the same thing with addition. We're going to go ahead and look at our practice and homework for this section, for this lesson. Okay, so your practice and homework is on page number 205. Some of them, 1 through 4, have you estimate, then find the difference. And then down here in 5 through 8, it says to find the difference and to check your answer. Okay, so there's 2 parts to both sets of those questions. I'm going to tell you which numbers you're going to be doing on page number 205. You're going to circle them as you go, and then you're going to go ahead and go through and put them in the Google form and submit your homework answers, okay? I want you to do number 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's see, 10. Okay, so far we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Then on page 206, you are going to do number, let's see, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so on page 206, you are doing 2, 3, and 4. On page 205, you are doing 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Then you're doing on page 206, 2, 3, and 4. That is a total of 10 questions. Once you watch this video, go ahead and fill out your Google form with your homework answers. Have a great day, and if you need help, don't forget to come to office hours. I will see you in the next video.